Hey y'all, and welcome to Politibrawl. My name is Brian, and once again, Senator Kennedy is absolutely grilling this terrible woke Biden nominee, and it's not going to end well for her.
You've been nominated by President Biden, served on the federal district court, which means, of course, that the Court of Appeal is going to review all of your decisions. What is the appellate standard of review for question of fact?
Thank you for the question, Senator. I have not worked on an appeal in my 14 years of experience. I believe that it is reviewed based on abuse of discretion would be this.
No, it's clear error.
Clear error.
As the federal district court judge, you're going to have a lot of discretion on determining facts. How about if somebody appeals one of your decisions and they say you made a mistake on the law? What's the appellate standard of review?
Thank you for the question, Senator. Again,
You're welcome.
I mentioned, I have not worked on appeals. If a question like that came before me, I would thoroughly research the law. I understand that there's de novo review, abuse of discretion, and clear error are the different standards.
Okay, but you don't know today the answer.
Thank you for the question, Senator. It would be
welcome.
something that I would need to research further.
Okay. How about a mixed question of fact and law? What's the standard of review on that?
Thank you for the question, Senator. Again, my understanding are that the different levels of review are de novo, abuse of discretion, and clear error.
Well, but that's a question of law and fact is different.
Thank you for the question, Senator.
You're welcome.
Again, in my 14 years of experience, that is not an issue that has confronted me.
Okay. All right. Well, you've been nominated for the Southern District, I think. Is that right?
That is correct.
So you'll see a lot of securities cases?
Yes.
Okay. Tell me what SEC Rule 10b-5 is.
That's a rule that deals with fraud. I have not litigated a securities matter. If I were to confront one, I would thoroughly research Second Circuit and Supreme Court precedent, and I would apply the law to the facts.
Ms. Clark, you've been nominated to the Southern District of New York. It's where most of our securities cases are litigated. And SEC Rule 10b-5 is about as basic as you can get. You want to take another crack at that and tell me what Rule 10b-5 does?
Thank you again for the question, Senator. I regularly confront new issues of law in my practice, and when I do, I thoroughly research the issue.
I know you're going to thoroughly research it, but are you telling me today you don't know what Rule 10b-5 is?
I only have that basic understanding.
Okay. All right.
Oh man, that's basically the senatorial equivalent of, I'm not mad, I'm just disappointed. Oh, how does the Biden administration find these complete nincompoops? And you know what, that's not entirely fair to her, okay? She's clearly an articulate, intelligent person, competent at her job, but she's probably not going to be competent at the next level. This is a DEI hire. That's what this ultimately is for the position that she's been appointed to. She has probably earned her way to her spot, but she has not, according to this, really earned the ability to jump up one more level. Why? Because she doesn't understand what that fully entails. Yes, she shows some integrity. Good for her, she does show some integrity. But she is ultimately admitting that she doesn't fully know what she's getting into. She doesn't really have a full breadth of knowledge of the law that she is going to be presiding over, and that she's going to be making decisions. This is just, it's disheartening, because we all know that the Biden administration is pushing a left-wing agenda as hard as they possibly can. Why? Well, Joe Biden still thinks that he's a 90s Democrat. That's how he still identifies. That's no longer the case. That's no longer the reality. Hey y'all, I just wanted to give a shout out to my friends over at Colonial Metals Group. Their experts understand exactly what they're doing with gold, silver, and other precious metals, unlike our current leadership, which is giving us rampant inflation, terrible Federal Reserve policies, a president that doesn't know what planet he's on, and, of course, an out-of-control Congress that won't stop spending. We have to figure out ways to keep our wealth safe. And the best way to do that is to go over to my friends at Colonial Metals Group, because their experts can help you diversify your portfolio, and they've got an amazing offer for first-time accounts. Free gold, silver IRA accounts, insured storage for 5 years, up to $7,500 in silver delivered directly to your home, and a safe to keep all that stuff in. So go over regardless and see what they can do for you and protect your wealth and your future today. Now, back to regularly scheduled programming. Joe Biden has been completely taken over by his staff members and his wife, Jill. Those are the people who are really running the show. That's why he looks like he's just shuffling along everywhere. It's why he looks like he has constant surgeries. That's why he has a CPAP machine. It's why he's not getting up until noon. We don't have a real president in the Oval Office. Now, granted, on one hand, that means that our country, surprisingly enough, can function without a president. So libertarians, that's sort of a dog whistle for y'all. But it's disheartening to know that this is what they consider the best and brightest. These are the kind of people that they want making major positions in positions of power. This is not good for our country. This is a slow rot that will just continually hollow us out until there's nothing left. Like I often say, leftists want to burn the system down and dance around the ashes. They have no capabilities of building something better. And they certainly have no capabilities of bringing actual reform to the table. That's why Republicans tend to get policy way better than the Democrats. And that's just the easy version of saying it. What is happening here is ultimately the Biden administration saw, okay, woman of color, yeah, minority, yeah, okay, we are definitely putting you into the next great position. Did it ever occur to them to look for quality? All right, did it ever occur to them to look for competency? And the answer is a clear no. They have not looked for this. They don't care about this. They want to push their agenda so the rich white liberals can feel good about themselves. Meanwhile, the nation is crumbling. Not quickly, but slowly. And we're starting to see the actual cracks. You can't keep pushing people who clearly aren't competent for the position of a major federal judge. You can't do that and expect your system to function properly. And it makes me wonder, is this really on purpose? Was Glenn Beck right? I'm beginning to think he was. I'm beginning to think that this is purposeful so they can get rid of the big bad America that they have grown to hate and despise, and then replace it with, I don't know, rainbows and unicorns? Unironically, I think that's their plan. It's just disheartening. And Senator Kennedy is clearly fed up. He seriously looks like a parent who is just disappointed at his children. And I'd be in the exact same situation. Because I'm thoroughly disappointed. This woman is clearly a competent person, an intelligent person, an articulate person, and seems to care about the position enough to research it, but she's not clearly at the position where she can already step into the role. It's like throwing a minor leaguer who's barely played a year of single A ball and then throwing him into the majors. What do you think is going to happen? That person's going to get shellacked when he goes up to pitch. That's what's going on here. They're calling up minor leaguers when we need major leaguers. This woman might get there someday. She might turn out to be a good hire after all. Who knows? But the likelihood is this, that the Biden administration and the Biden team, not Joe Biden himself, but the Biden team, saw that she checked off a whole lot of basic boxes, and so they put her in a major position. This is not going to end well for anyone. This is actively asking for a weaker product. Not because we're adding different parts, but because the parts might not have the capabilities. Instead of having metal pieces, you're replacing them with plastic. That's what's going on here. And I don't want to sound too derisive because, again, this woman is clearly articulate, intelligent, cares about her position. But she is showing constantly that she's not ready to take the next step. That's what Kennedy is getting at here, and that's the point I'm trying to make. But let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. This is Brian here on Politibrawl. Hope you love this segment here today. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Catch you on the next one. And until then, y'all have a good one.